Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Finally, Bola Tinubu has sent in the list to the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and the long-awaited list have a lot of shocks. But most interestingly is the fact that only 28 names were sent in, and one notable thing is that their state of origin were not attached. Now, the list was delivered by the former Speaker, House of Rep, and Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, who entered the Harlow chamber at about 1:18 p.m. and delivered the letter at about 1:19. Let me give you the full list. Abubakar Momo, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama, Architect Ahmed Musa, Barrister Hanatu Musawa, Chief Uche Naji, Dr. Beta Edu, Dr. Doris Oniche Uzoka, David Umayi, Ezenwo Yesom Wike, Mohammed Badaru, Nasser El Rufai, Honorable Ekberegbe Ekbo, Nkiru Nyejacha, Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, Honorable Stella Okotete, Honorable Ujo Ohanaye, Mr. Bello Muhammad, Dele Alake, Latif Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Muhammad Idris Olawale Edun, Wahid Adebayo, Suleiman Ibrahim, Ali Pet, Joseph Yu, Abubakar Kyari, Senator John Wareno, Senator Sani Abubakar, Dan Ladi. Now, if you look at those names, they are 28 in number. But interestingly, with 28, one is immediately pushed to check which states were excluded in all of these nominations. And from our findings, there are some few states that were excluded. And the reason for their exclusion, we do not know. And some people believe that Bola Tinubu may likely send in another list, which for now he has not said anything about it. I'm going to read the list of states that have been excluded based on the fact that most of us know where these guys are coming from. One of the first states is Adamawa has been excluded, Bayelsa, Gombe, Kano, Kebbi, Kogi, Lagos, Nasarawa, Osun, Yobe, and Zamfara. They have not been included. I would like you also to look at it. If we've made a mistake there, please just sort it out for us. But those are the 11 states. I'll repeat it again: Adamawa, Bayelsa, Gombe, Kano, Kebbi, Kogi, Lagos, Nasarawa, Osun, Yobe, Zamfara. This is based on the info about these people on Wikipedia or other social site. We looked at it and we realized the states that we're coming from, and some of them already we know. For example, Nyesom Wike, we all know he's from River State. Nasser El Rufai, we know that he's from Kaduna State. The likes of other guys represented there. We've seen a lot of governors. Onwaneno, we know he's from Cross River State. Betaidu, we know he's from Cross River State. Ekberigbe Egbo, we know that he's from Akwa Ibom State. All of them, we know where they come from, but these few states were excluded. What do you think is behind this exclusion?
Well, I do not think that Bola Tinubu can include all 36 states. Even if he can, it may be a case of lobbying for all, literally. But there's something I noticed. I don't know if every other person noticed it.
Okay.
David Umahi is a sitting senator.
That's amazing. I must say that.
Why are we doing this? That slot can be given to someone else.
Exactly.
Is he going to rob? Is what is left for David Umahi to choose between being a minister
and a senator?
Or a senator.
Yes.
Now, that of senator, he's secured.
Yeah,
because,
for at least for the next 4 years.
For the next 4 years.
Yes.
And eventually, you don't enter the good books of the presidency. You could actually be kicked out within 1 year, 6 months. But as a sitting senator, except your constituency moves a motion to recall you, or you are being impeached,
okay,
we are having some degree of immunity for the next 4 years. I'm just wondering, is it a case of competency, or is it a case of loyalty here?
No, that's quite shocking. Someone like
honestly,
El-Rufai, I'm wondering why El-Rufai should be brought in again. At least we saw what happened when he was the governor of when he was the governor of Kaduna State, that there was no reasonable achievement, So I'm really shocked. A lot of these people are coming in. And I noticed another thing very interestingly, that some opposition were represented. That's why all the noise that APC made in River State, Nyesom Wike was still brought into power. Some people believe it's because of his contribution to the success of the president, or maybe.
Like some top politicians keep saying, it very strongly, that they believe that these home ministerialists have taken for a while to come up. There is a thank you gift for all those who, one way or the other, been loyal to bringing him in. But the question now is, are we in the dispensation of thank you, or we should be looking at competent hands to bring us out of the situations we have found ourselves in? But in all of this, if you ask me, it's left for the presidents. But I have this strong belief, I can't shake it, I could be wrong, I'm entitled to my opinion, just maybe within the next 1 year, some of these guys will be changed.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe it's a case of, okay, let's not look as if we didn't bring some set of people in. I still feel that along the line, if they don't take, according to how the executive arm wants this to be run, likelihood that they will change it and bring in their persons where Nigerians have stabilized, have gotten used to him being the president, and he could just gradually, this time around with no noise, really, very quietly, can just quietly remove one name, before the person will make noise, they have put one. You know how this thing is being run. Before you know it, it's just going to be a wee thing. Okay, then we are now looking at a democracy that wears the clothes of democracy, but having the features of autocracy. And I just hope that we don't get there, really. But if you can maintain this, well, I don't know. But if you ask me personally, 28 36 states, there's no way. This is just 28 ministerial lists.
Yes,
there's no way 36 states will come in.
That's why I personally believe that he may likely bring in some more names, because they were, in some cases, during the period of Buhari, there was case of Minister of State for Education and all of that. If you put all of that together, I don't think that they will match this whole, this list will be enough for it. So I'm still expecting that a new list will also be pushed out. But there's another very interesting thing I saw. There are some names that are missing, which I least expected them to miss. The likes of Femi Fani-Kayode, because he made a lot of noise during the period of the campaign. He was at the forefront of the campaign. He said all manner of things, but unfortunately, he was dropped. And, another guy, there is this spokesperson to the presidential committee talking about this senior advocate of Nigeria. What's that his name? This young senior advocate of Nigeria.
Okay. Keyamo, Festus Keyamo. Oh dear. Let me laugh a little.
Maybe.
And these guys played very strong roles. In fact, they even, so to speak, indicted themselves literally, where EU had to pick them out. For that of Keyamo, if you ask me, he doesn't really have much to lose. He's just coming out from a dispensation. One would say, after all, he has been settled one way or the other. He was in Buhari's tenure. He was a minister.
How about Nyesom Wike? How about El-Rufai?
No, these guys are. Nyesom Wike is elected governor. El-Rufai was an elected governor. But that of Keyamo was a ministerial seat. So you could say your blicker at the time there must always give him. It is FFK that is very pitiable right now, because he moved. He swore, can never, over my dead body will I go to APC. He did all manner, only for him to crawl back Nicodemously. He didn't just crawl back, he even incited and spoke against Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar had to send in DSS that he can't come and defend that thing he said in public. What did he not say? He came about, he spoke so much terrible words about PDP, and even to Peter Obi, just that Peter Obi was so matured enough to ignore him.
Now, another interesting thing I noticed was that entirety of Southeast were represented in the list.
Yeah.
Why? I am just so shocked,
Abia is there, Imo is there. And I think Enugu also.
Enugu is there. Yeah. Imo State, Doris Uzoka, she is there. And
fully represented.
We have some other persons like Edo State is evenly represented.
If you ask me, he heard the noise. But I would have even preferred a situation where it should be Southeast as Senate President than this ministerial list. Before the 4 years tenure elapse, if there is no change in presidency in the executive arm with this PEPC court case, the verdict and all that, if there's no change and he remains this way, then this list I see changes within the next 2 years.
Yes, the next 2 years, because some of the lists, if you check very well, you notice that 2 people were represented from one state. For example, Cross River State, Beta Edu,
Yeah,
John Eno.
I think
That's one
Bauchi
Eno.
too.
Bauchi,
too.
exactly. Bauchi had 2 persons. That's
Katsina
Yusuf
too.
Tuga and Ali Pate.
Katsina too.
We also had Katsina. Yeah, exactly. Katsina had Ahmed Dangiwa and Hanatu Musawa. And I'm just wondering, why didn't you put in another person there? Why must it be, two people from the same place? But however, it is this government. All what we want is to see equal representation, and we want to see a government that will change the narrative of this country. That's where we like to leave it. Let's meet in our comments.